right. E6. Go for the French. We'll see if we get D4. There's so many other moves that I'm used to seeing, and this is the first time we've seen it. But at the lower elos, I'm really used to knight F3. Like, seems like a really natural move. Queen E2. Can't say that's the best move we've seen. I'm just gonna get castled. If I see this move aimed at my king, almost immediately I'm gonna want to castle, bring a rook to E8, see what happens from there. But that's gonna be the most dangerous way to play. So we're just trying to get my rook here ASAP. The bishop can't develop, takes time to go like this, and I think his pieces are gonna be caught kind of stepping on each other's toes here. Wow. You know, I gotta tell you, knight A4. I don't think I could have predicted that. I'm trying to imagine how I could have predicted that. Knight A4. This is an insane move. Wow. So here's what I'm thinking. You know, if we play rook E8, he's gonna slot a bishop on E3. Maybe right away, maybe later. If we play bishop check and he blocks like this, you know, we still don't have this rook E8 because of the bishop there. Now I'm hoping that if I give him a check first, that he might play bishop D2, then we could play rook E8. Right? Rook E8, at least it forces knight E5, and I think I could try to take advantage of that. Now if I play this check and he plays C3 instead, that's fine. I'll take a step back to D6. And then the knight might be trapped on A4 because the pawn's on C3 now. And I'm banking on him not playing knight back to C3 because why would he? He just put the knight there. We've done this. Bishop there. Okay. And let's bring the rook. Rook E8. And I figured you might get a little frisky. Say, you know what? I'm going to take your bishop. You know, it's working out for me. Let's take here. Okay. Now from here, what are we going to hit him with? What are we going to hit our buddy pal with? I think there's something to be said for Queen E8, but after the knight comes back to C3, you know, it's not too special. It's an okay move. It's not winning or anything, but it's a decent move. You know, stops him from castling. Knight C3. Hey, you know, your bishop's kind of supposed to be on the inside there. Okay. A5. Let's at least get that bishop. And although we're living on the edge here, knight E4. If castles, takes, rook E1. Oops. Blundering back rank mate. Surprisingly, we have queen to B5. The perfect geometry. This is the risky capture. Just one material. Oh, he doesn't even play rook E1. I mean, it looked pretty scary. It looks like I was gonna lose the game, but queen B5 covers E8 instead. Oh, we didn't even get tested. Okay, now he's threatening rook to E8. We're gonna have to go here. Knight C6, the rook will cover. We don't really care about knight G5. Queen A2 and Queen C3 both look like tremendous moves. Still, I don't think there's any threat just yet. If we take here, there's bishop B2. I'll take on A2. Bishop B2 looks more or less forced. And then a4, a3 should really get the job done. Bishop is trapped. Check. And I think the final step is just get developed here. We're not going to get back rank mated. Because number one, we have an escape square now. Bring the knight to c4. But also so many pieces have been traded off, which is nice for us. Basically pre-move that. Take that with check. And okay, I'll get down here with the queen. Check. Stop him from running there. Check. Looks like it. There we go. GG. Came away with a nice win there. What happened here? This was the French. Oh yeah, queen e2. Hey, there wasn't much to this game. Queen e2 is not a good move. I recommend just getting castled ASAP. Bring a rook to e8. And the good thing about that plan is that you want to do that anyway as black. So it's not like I'm going out of my way, making bad moves just to try to punish him. Like, you can see I was already getting pretty much a winning position right off the bat. He needed to play c3, but then the bishop slides back to d6. So I think we punished his knight a4 move pretty decently there. Not too bad. And yeah, queen e2 should not be played. Then there's the reason why. Here's the reason why. The Chess Nerd Live. Thanks for the raid. All right, French. Will we get d4? We do, and the classic French advance. What's it gonna be? Oh, French exchange, that's right. I think advance and exchange are pretty much the only two openings you'll see at this level. Okay, so we've seen this before with knight f3, and I said there's a setup that I like to go for. So we'll see if you guys remember it. Do you remember what the setup looks like? Okay, bishop g5. Kind of happy to see that because I don't mind playing f6 actually. What is a setup? Okay, we got to take some steps back. Knight c6. Probably bishop e6. I'm thinking bishop e6, queen e2, queen d7. You know, should be okay there. I want to take this knight back with the knight. But right now, knight takes d5. So I'm going here to guard my pawn. Yeah, let's go here. And again, even if the bishop gets attacked with a rook, we can drop it back to f7. No problem. Pawn is doing a great job here containing the knight. We do need to castle now. I think castling queenside it's more risky. I will say I would probably castle kingside here, but for the boys, we're gonna castle long. We want to start shoving these pawns up the board now. Okay, g5. There we we go. And again, if this bishop gets hit, just step to one side. Takes, we always take back. And I think we have some nice, easy pawns that we can push up the board on the king side. All right, bishop's being hit. What's the best square for it? I don't love d7. f5, I'm only wondering if my knight might want that square, but otherwise, f5 does look pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with f5. Again, knight takes, should be fine there. And important to remember when you're pushing your pawns, you often need to, okay, so first of all, must take with knight. If you play g4, you hand over the h4 square to your opponent, hits my bishop, lose time. It also blockades my pawns. Like I can't do anything after that. After I play this, how do I break through? It takes a really long time. So yes, this is an idea to win the pawn, but as far as attacking, it's the worst way to go forward. I want to first play h4 and then play g4, and then the knight will have to step back, and then I can play other moves. So, however, he's done something interesting. He's played h4, which means I can play g4 and he doesn't have that square, and then I can win that pawn. So that was friendly. The other thing I might do in that situation instead is I might play bishop g4 to pin the knight and look to take, or just take straight away. Try to use the open g file. But here, I don't know. It's just tough to refuse a nice free pawn. Why didn't I like bishop d7? I don't know, just compare the bishops. Either that or that. I like it better on f5. I don't think that diagonal is too important. So knight takes c2, queen takes a7, knight takes, rook takes. I'm definitely up material, but I do have to deal with a queen on a7. That's the only thing. Not sure if I love that. So I'm thinking twice about this. The other reason I'm thinking twice is because he can't defend it. So I'm gonna play c5, and I might not win a rook anymore, but I'll definitely win at least a pawn and still have a great position. Yeah, so let's take. Yeah, and I think this should be quite good. Up at least the exchange here. Queen f2 might also throw in the move g3. Looks great. Queen there makes sense. I think it's probably the best move. Takes. I'm actually gonna play bishop here, and if rook f2, I might play pawn there. Maybe rook e8 first, and then pawn g3, which, funny enough, should actually trap that rook. Rook's in trouble now. And on top of all this, as we hit 950 on the dot, yeah, queen f4 to h4 will probably lead to mate there as well. GG. Yeah, I mean this setup, I mean it's not like a free win or anything, but it is. Bishop d6, knight e7, this knight to c6, pawn to f6, and I would play this move willingly. So the fact that everyone plays this, I'm so happy to play f6. It's just a free move. And then bishop to one of these squares, queen to d7, long castle, and you see how easily those pawns start pushing on the king side. It's a nice, easy attack. Feels good. Thank you to MapRail, 10 gifted subs. Thank you kindly, MapRail. Appreciate it, buddy. We are in the swing of it right now. Speed run. All right. The French defense. B3. All right. Let's see it. B3 at 900 elo is, that's impressive. Already he's played this, so kind of tells me he's not really playing the dangerous variations, let's say. But this is interesting because if bishop here, you know, bishop b2, knight f6 takes, I can't take with the bishop. So bishop e6, and I am walking into queen b5, knight, let's say c6, queen takes b7. I still think there's some good play there for me, maybe with, I don't know, knight d4, stuff like that. But the point is, we are kind of down material there. We lose the b7 pawn. And knight e7 just doesn't feel right. So actually, the best move here is queen e7. The question is, am I going to play it against him? Probably not. I'd rather keep some material on the board, so I'm going to play this. I would just rather play a position where maybe I lose this b pawn, but some chances. Queen exchange is definitely the way to play it, but let's go for this. We're only down one pawn. Got some pretty good development. Bishop b5. Yeah, just bishop d6 most likely. Castle. How does the 900 know it? Hey, he's concocted the, he's got the stuff, man. We're gonna take with the bishop. Now, I think we're just winning here, so, and just need him to not take that. Like, it'd be helpful, it'd be useful. If we castle, he's gonna castle. Queen e7 check is great here because it stops him from castling. Rook b8, it's a move I'm tempted to throw in. And after queen a7, then then we need something else. It's here, then he has queen e3. So I think I want the best of both worlds. I want to stop him from castling, and then I want to castle myself. So let's just do that. I mean, this is all for the cost of one pawn, remember? One single pawn. Worth. Just want to tickle. You might feel like, oh, we need to play g3 to help our king escape. Don't worry. I'm ready for that. All right, I think it's close to being time to shimmy some pieces in. All right, we'll go here. See where the queen wants to go. Queen here is super risky, just because bishop b5 exists. I thought he might be interested in that. Let's go bishop here with the queen. Queen takes. There's no bishop b5, but I am probably going to play d4. And there are some pretty interesting lines here, like queen a6, d4. A knight can't move because of bishop there, right? And if he throws in rook e1, oh, maybe take the knight. So if bishop here, knight takes, he's saying, hey, my queen's protected, man, right? The knight's covering. But he probably didn't expect that after bishop here to win his queen, that I wasn't interested in actually winning his queen. I was interested in deflecting the knight so that my queen could make an entrance of her own and deliver mate, of course, with the bishop. No other way. There's no other way. The French takes another name. The queen is just kind of hanging around there. King can't castle. Black has a massive advantage here, even down a pawn. Now, again, what he played, it's good, man. It's good. Right? It's tricky because bishop e7, bishop b2, you know, technically, I do have to walk into this. Knight f6 takes. And it's not like this is amazing for white, but hey, double pawns, isolated pawns like that, you're not really super happy to have those. And bishop e6 is kind of a, I mean, it's good as well, but I do give up a pawn there. I think I made the right decision in the end, you know? Queen here. Hey, we can play many moves here, but just simple, developed, castle. That's how you get your compensation. Going for 1K. Oh, hey, he's copying my opening. Is he playing? Did I? Is this 3-check chess? Gotta make sure. Wonder what I signed up for here. Queen b3. Huh. So I have this thing about people that are so eager to take pawns. I say, you know what? Let him take it. You want to take that pawn so bad, go for it. It's yours. Right? Usually, they end up regretting taking it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes for him. All right. You know, we go here. He's got queen a4, but guess what? Rook takes b5, queen takes b5, knight b4. I've got knight c2 coming. That's something. I think I'm all ready ready to take this. But you know what? We'll go here first, just so he doesn't know it's coming. Sorry, I mouse slipped, my friend. My bad, mouse slip. My fault. I'm looking at your squares here, bud. You can't be playing this kind of stuff and then losing your light square bishop. That's just not allowed to happen. It's not allowed to happen. Oh my goodness. What a Chad. What a Chad. All right, bud. You're down a bit of material here, but we respect you. Queen d7. He didn't like the look of knight c2. I don't blame him. Let's just get developed. Queen b5 is going to be a nasty move. I'm waiting for the guy to play knight f3. Okay, let's go here. And as soon as knight f3 happens, with great pleasure, I will play the move queen b5. But I'm not going to do it right away. Right? I'm going to let him believe that there's a chance that he might castle this game. That it could actually happen. Oh my goodness, I'm so close. I could get castled here. Things could be different. Oh, but my bishop's attacked. Damn it. Can't castle yet. But now it's possible. Now I can get over here. I can get my rook out. I can play rook c1. I could go rook c... Yeah. How about next game, bud? How about next game, bud? Yep. There might be a situation coming soon to a theater near you where you just can't move. And I would love to see that movie. Bishop c1. Okay. Knight e4. Now be careful. Knight takes. Watch your e2 square, bud. Ooh, queen e2 is mate. But obviously, when you see a mate in one, you look for better. There we go. We've crested 1,000 elo. 4 digits is ours. How does it feel? Remember, as a viewer, you all have a fractional share in this elo. Just from being here watching and supporting the stream right now. So if you are normally 800 rated, think of it this way. We're at 1,000 elo right now. There's about 2,000 people watching, right? You own 0.5 of a point. So go ahead and add that to your current elo and pat yourself on the back. You earned it. You earned it. And did I earn 50 subs from Ya928? 50. The big 5-0. Thank you, Ya928. And that is 6K. Yay. Let's go. We hit 169. We hit 6K subs. We hit 1K rating. That's a KO if I've ever seen one. All right. E6. You know the drill. Let's see what opening we get. As I said, it's always the advance. Now, I'm ready to hand out a badge of honor. If this guy can go one goddamn move without blundering pawns. How do these guys always do it? Not a single player can protect their damn pawns. It's unbelievable. Just keep the pawns for one move. Nope, immediately blunder. I mean, it's every single time, guys. It really is. I'm going c4. I don't want to run into this and rook c1. Okay, interesting. There's nothing stopping me from taking this, so I'm probably going to go right ahead. I'm thinking about bishop a3, but maybe after knight e2, I don't actually get to win the pawn. So, yoink. Let's go all the way back. I'm thinking that bishop a3 makes a lot of sense. But what I will do, most likely, is I'll start with this. It's very tricky. If the knight moves here, c3. The knight moves here. Bishop a3. Seems tough to me. Now bishop a3. Queen c2, por favor. Queen b5. I'm happy to take that, actually. c3. A try, but queen takes queen. So, yeah, I think it's time to take this, guys. It's being difficult, isn't he? I'm gonna remove this rook the slow way. He might be getting himself in trouble here. Let's see. The dad bod be shuffling. Bishop b4. Man, he's got a funny little construction here, doesn't he? Damn. Damn. All right. We'll attack the rook. It's definitely a weird position here. Now, if we ever want to boot the rook out, we can with bishop a5. I'm probably going to do that fairly shortly. Knight f5 looks strong in the meantime. Okay, I'm not getting that move. Let's go here. d4 is hanging now. Bishop a5. I'm a pawn goblin. I want the pawns. He castled, which was slightly unexpected. Didn't really expect him to hang this knight, but bishop a5, no matter where he moves, technically we'll still be able to do that. Okay, instead of winning a piece, I want a rook. Don't hate the player, hate the game. But I'm being dead serious, guys. It is truly a hack. The French defense, low elo players, they play e5. But not a single one of them can hang on to this pawn chain. Everybody is tempted by bishop e3. Nobody takes care of this pawn. And when they do take care of that pawn, then they blunder d4. So I'm just gonna go out there and say it. French, he's goated at low elo. It is. It's just putting up easy results. Can I show what they should do instead? No. Absolutely not. Are you kidding me, bud? You think I'm gonna hand out secrets like that? Yeah, be out your damn mind. I ain't giving it away that easy. We've just started the speed run. You know what I mean? We've just started the speed run, and you want the holy grail already? This is like the first date. I'm not giving it up that easy. You gotta wine and dine me. You gotta spend some money on me. Take me out. Be interesting. And then, maybe I'll tell you about it. Let's continue. Let's continue. Okay. And normally this means we're getting an exchange. And it does. So, I mean, I'm pretty much going to use my setup here that I've been using. Bishop d6. Knight e7. Let's go bishop f5. Queen d7. Knight c6. Again, if he takes, I won't take with a knight because if knight takes t5, so that's why I have my queen there. This is a good bishop trade for me. This one, not so much. If he wants to trade knight for bishop, I'm actually going to be okay with that. Surprisingly. He picked a good time to do it though. Like, I'll give him that. Let's castle. But still, even though I've lost my bishop, the reason that I'm still okay with this is, let's go f6. Yeah, the reason I'm still okay with this is because I think that bishop is bad. Like, just plain and simple, that's a bad bishop. Probably knight g6. Bishop trades are good or bad based on the pawn structure. So normally if you have a pawn fixed on a dark square, your dark square bishop won't be that great. So because there's a pawn fixed on a dark square for white, my dark square bishop for his dark square bishop won't be a great trade. My light squared for his light squared will be. So here, probably slide that knight back to e7. We're both doing the exact same thing. We're both doing the same thing. There's no knight h4, so knight has to take a step back there. He's pawn storming me, I'm pawn storming him. It's a good old-fashioned race. I don't like what he just did because now he would have to play very, very accurately not to get mated, and he already hasn't. King h1, rook g1 was needed, but I think he'll still eventually get mated there. So rook b1, and the thing is, we've got mate in one, so just look for better. I'm gonna force him to defend the mate. Force him to defend it. There we go. There we go. GG. Now, again, we see this setup, which I've been saying since the start of the speedrun. Please remember this, because bishop here, and then bishop out to one of these three squares, depending on the position. Queen d7, you know, f6, long castle. That's the idea. And we don't really mind knight for bishop. It's not great, but we don't mind it. And we do want to trade light squared bishops. We just don't want to trade bishop for bishop. So this was okay. And then, yeah, the pawn on f6 supports our expansion on the king side and usually get a nice attack. RPM. Thanks, Ryan. Good to see you, RPM, for damn near 4 years with us. A tier 3 RPM 549. Thanks for the 47 months. Speaking of almost milestones, Sunbro TV, appreciate the 11 months from you. Twitch Prime as well. And Mr. Sir 71, 5 gifted subs. Thank you to Mr. Sir. Now you just need to remember everything. Yeah, come on, it's easy. Just remember it. Is h5 too slow? Probably, yeah. I mean, this is the idea, I guess, but wouldn't be a bad move. Just, my opponent's also doing this, and I liked g4 and immediately getting into the light squares with f3, but I wouldn't say this is too slow. I think h5, h4, h3 is an idea, but I like the haste. So I like g4 because the knight can't go to h4, and the main reason we play h5, h4 And then g4 is to stop knight h4. But here I've already got it prevented, so that's why I like g4 better. Yeah, I feel like we haven't had the black pieces in a while. Let's go. Is it going to be London? I feel like when e6 happens, a lot of people do take the opportunity to transpose to e4. Whoa. So if c6, pawn takes. I mean, that looks pretty good, but I will say I'm not opposed to offering a trade of bishops, that's for sure. Okay. I'm gonna get castled ASAP here. Rook e8. And yeah, I think this game looks like a little bit, maybe a little bit, I don't know, the pieces have traded so quickly. Looks a little unusual. But it all stems from this queen e2 check idea. Not really sure about that one. Knight takes, queen takes, looks okay. H6 can happen, and here if bishop takes f6, you know, the rook's on e8, we got the pin, but I can only assume he's planning to follow up with f4, which doesn't make my job so easy. Does not make my job so easy. Let's take this way. Okay. Knight g4 is not possible. I assume that he's gonna double the rooks there. That looks like a decent idea. Rook e6. Ooh. Okay, that queen trade. You're not gonna see me declining that one. Let's double the rooks. And man, he's really not, he's not paying attention to what I'm doing, essentially. Like, I'm simply attacking a knight, and I'm attacking him more times than he's defending it, so that's material for me. Okay, let's go g6. And we'll see how this goes. Takes. It's only a one pawn advantage in the rook endgame, but I have a very unique thing in this position, which is that I knew my opponent was going to play h4. No, I was going to say that I want to play this move next, and he can't stop it. Because if he goes rook g2, I play rook e1 check, and he can't trade because pawn endgame up a pawn is winning. Here, as tempting as it is to just win all these pawns, if you want to win the smoothest, you just trade rooks, or no rook of your own. That'll always be a good trade. We're pushing for 1100 here. And whoa. My head hurts. What am I looking at here? What? Buddy, what is going on here? Let me take that. Let me take that. I mean, I don't know how to handle this opening, that's for damn sure. Okay, buddy. Little h6 here and there. This is a very, very interesting gameplay, guys. I don't know what to say. This is... Well, I want to say this should be an easy game. Right. G5 happening. Yes, I would say this looks slightly dubious. Bring the king in. Wow. D4. All right, guys. Time has come for me to sacrifice. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. Wasn't necessary, but I believe that the energy was there. Maybe bishop here. I believe the energy was right. Now we have what? 3 extra pawns in a rook endgame? 3 extra pawns. 2 of them are connected. That always feels good. Rook here covers the 7th rank where the pawns are. And essentially if the king blocks, we'll offer up this pawn in order to shimmy it forward. And I think this is the easiest way to win the rook endgame. That rook is stuck. It cannot move the rest of the game. If it moves, it's going to have to go right back to that square. Enjoy your time. I think it's gonna have to be one of those games, guys. I think you know exactly what needs to happen. Has to be a bishop in there. Need to show him how it's done. He's almost making this surprisingly easy. He is making this surprisingly easy. I feel like we've almost got a... This is gonna be the fastest one ever. It's gonna be the fastest one ever. There we go. GG. That didn't take too long. Is this gonna be a French? D4 here? Okay, knight c3. Will he transpose with d4? More likely he takes it, I would say, but... Nice. Okay, so we get a win hour, guys. We get a win hour. This is perfect. We get a new variation. We haven't seen it so far. Now there's a few variations to play. There's, the main line, which is c5. I guess there's even lines where when you get attacked, you actually bring your bishop straight back. But I'll probably go for one which I like, and I think is relatively easy to explain. We'll start with knight e7. Okay. Knight f3. Knight f3 is kind of nice for me because knight f3, it means I don't deal with queen g4 at all. Queen g4 is like the bane of bishop b4's existence. As soon as the bishop comes out, the queen heads to g4, almost like a magnet. Like one happens, then the other happens. So the fact that I don't have to deal with that here, I think I'm pretty happy with. I'm gonna continue with my plan, b6. c5 is a great move. I'm just choosing a different plan. And this plan involves playing bishop a6. Basically, I want to see if I can't show you guys a thing or two about trying to approach the position positionally. I'm going to be weak on the dark squares, but very strong on the light squares. My knight here is rerouting. It wants to go to c4. A lot of times people move their knight and then try to play f4, f5. That's really normal. And when they do that, surprisingly, instead of like playing g6 or something to stop that, usually what you want to do is play h5. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's normally what the plan is. Let's play queen d7, and got some light squares here. f4 looks supernatural for him to play. c4, I think we're going to take that. And basically what we're going to end up with is knight against bishop, which, based on the pawns being fixed, mine on light squares, his on dark squares, generally speaking, I'm comfortable with. I'm okay with that. Let's take. Let's castle. Play h5. Why? Because if I play h5 after f4, then my knight gets f5, and there's no g4 to boot it out. And plus, f5 needs g4 to support it, so it also stops it that way. Okay, d8. Just get h6 in here. And I do want to play c5. I just need to find the right moment to do so. Yeah, rook c8, c5, something like that feels normal here. Because this knight will go to d5, hit the bishop, and if it moves, then the move c5 is very attainable. These are my candidate moves. A4, A5 by him looks great. Looks like a nice idea for white. Goes queen back. Now I will absolutely play C5 because now he's just walked into a pin, which means I get to do this for free. And if I get to trade these C pawns, then hopefully you guys can see D5 square, F5 square just becomes so juicy. And this is like a dream for me. I have an outside pass pawn. If you get in the hang of playing these like positional games in the French, you can win so many games like this. The more white trades down, the more it helps you. And you have this fantastic square on D5 waiting for you. So let's keep it simple. Let's just trade. I mean, I guess I'll wait because if he takes with the rook, I suppose I should be taking here. Buddy, if you just moved quickly, I was planning to trade and show everyone an endgame. I just wanted to teach everyone here a knight versus bishop endgame. But fine, if you're gonna take this long, I suppose you're letting it sink in that there's a pawn hanging that should be taken. Fine, I'll take it. I wouldn't have taken it if you just moved. Hello, sir. Are you smurfing? No. This is my main account. All right. This looks like a knight to d5 moment. Hey, we have that nice escape square. Pay attention. I didn't play g6 for an escape square. If I did, then rook c8, king g7, bishop f8, and bishop h6 would be mate. If I had this pawn here and that pawn there. So when you're making an escape square, you do not want an escape square the same color of your opponent's bishop. Your opponent has one bishop on the board. Whatever color it is, your escape square should be the opposite color. Basically, like, full stop. Careful now. Your bishop's got to watch over that square, buddy. How are you going to do that? Not going to be very easy here. Okay, it's the first time we saw the win hour. I went for this line 97. The main line is c5. 97 is just kind of a cute sideline that I like to do. It has similar ideas to c5, but without, like by saving this move, essentially I'm a little bit quicker to play bishop a6. So if you go a3, I want to play bishop a6. If we watch what happened in the game, very similar. The whole plan is to trade that light square bishop, reroute the knight to c4, and then one knight goes on c4, the other knight goes on f5, basically. That's the plan in a nutshell. And now, because of this opponent, we're gonna have 2 more games. Because this game is not gonna give enough points to get to 1100. So whoever we just saw might have been a fan of the stream and wanted you guys to get another game before 1100. He is an inside guy with the chat. What is with everyone and this move, Queen E2? I tell you, people are obsessed with it. I'm sticking with my setup here, guys. I know the bishop's on b4. Remember that setup that we did where the bishop was here? Basically, I'm sticking to that. But you know, if necessary, I can bring this bishop back. So it's the same kind of idea. I want knight here, f6, queen d7. Same vibe. Knight d4 is my threat now that I've pinned the knight. Should be able to just play knight takes d4 here. Somehow it does look a little shaky. I'll do it anyway. I'll do it anyway. Whoa. Queen e5. Talk about high T. Talk about high T. There is a lot of stuff hanging here, y'all. All right, so let's break this down here. First of all, if that knight moves, that's mate. I don't know if I can make that happen, but that would be cool. Knight takes c2, king d1. I think that's the way to go, guys. Bishop takes c3 next, and knight takes a1. And queen g7, we have rook g8. Probably bishop takes. Let's go ahead and take this. Queen takes, and rook g8. And we should be up a rook here. If my math is mathing. This check doesn't, well, actually, certainly doesn't help at all. We want a long castle. Not trying to be too fancy here, just let me get my pieces to safety. Check. Please move there. Thank you. Thank you kindly. And we will get one more game, won't we? We're at 1,099. We can't leave everybody like that. We need another. We made it to the end of another video on the French defense. I hope you learned something. Leave a comment down below. What did you think was the most important thing to remember from this video? Subscribe if you haven't already, and a reminder to click that bell to turn on post notifications so you don't miss our next video.